Welcome everybody. My name is Daniela Ruiz. I am a team enablement specialist here at Mural. I am located in Buenos Aires, Argentina. It is 1 p.m. here, around lunchtime. And joining me today is my awesome colleague, Agustin Sosa. Agus, are you there? Say hi.
Hi everyone. Hey, very happy to join you guys here today. Hopefully we'll get to have some fun and you will find this demo very, very useful.
We sure hope so. Agus and myself are team enablement specialists, and we help teams learn very quickly how to use Mural so that it becomes more about them collaborating and what they have to do to make the world a better place and not just learning a tool. And this is what we're here for today as well. So you can learn the very basics of how to use this tool to just make your work and your life better. So before we get started, I wanted to let you all know that this session is being recorded. So if you need to jump early, do not worry, we will send you the recording of the entire session. From now on, please keep using the chat just for informal conversation to make comments about, how great we are and whatnot. But if you have questions about what we're going to explain, go ahead and use the Q&A pane for those so we can make sure to get to all of your questions. On the agenda for today, we're going to be talking about what Mural is, how to use it, how to get all the content in your murals. We will hone in facilitation superpowers so that you get acquainted with all the tools that you have to facilitate better meetings, better workshops for your company or your team. We will stop to share some use cases as well to see what you could be using Mural for. And at the end, we will have more time to answer your questions, and we will also invite you all to join us in a Mural so you can actually test it out and see and try it out for yourself. Okay, so let's get going. So what is Mural? Mural is a digital workspace for visual collaboration. So in other words, it's like a big whiteboard, but online and on steroids. So it can do a whole lot more than your regular whiteboard. The great thing about this is that it allows for real-time collaboration. What you're seeing here in this animated image is very possibly a team collaborating on and moving Post-its around an idea prioritization axis. So they're working together. This is very likely a team meeting, and they could be from anywhere in the world, like we are right now. We could have people from India moving a Post-it, and then somebody from the UK or Germany, and then somebody in the United States, and then somebody here in Argentina, and we could all be working together. This is why it is so powerful, because it's real-time collaboration. However, the real beauty behind it is that it is also good for asynchronous communication and collaboration. So if you're not able to collaborate in real time, like you see here in the picture, you can still use your murals for asynchronous collaboration. And we will show you just how to do it here in a second. Right now, today, Mural is available in 3 different versions. The web version is what we're using today, and you have all the features. We do recommend using Chrome or Firefox for an optimal experience. So you don't need to download any software to be able to start using Mural right away. You could access it from any browser and start collaborating. We do also have an iOS app and a Windows 10 app. So you could download those if you have a Surface, like a touch screen device that you would like to use for better drawings or whatnot. Those are great, and they work really, really great. So yeah, so let's see how to get the content on your mural. As I said, we're on a mission to transform the way you guys work by making teamwork faster, easier, and more fun for everybody too, because that's important too. So let's see how to get all the content in a mural. Let me move my computer here, 1 sec. So we said it is like a whiteboard, right? So what all can I get on my whiteboard? I'm going to show you. Before I show you all the different things, I would like to point out this mini map that I have here towards my bottom right. This is a mini map of my entire canvas, and it will show you that right now I am the red rectangle. The reason I know that is because if you look at my avatar here, you will see that I have a reddish line around me. So you know I'm the red rectangle here, and I'm zoomed in this area of my mural. Agustin here is green. So you will see that there's a green rectangle that corresponds to where he is. So he's a little bit more zoomed out right now. And now he just zoomed in. And if he moves around the canvas, you'll be able to see where he's going. And that will be the same for any members of your team who join you in a mural at any given time. So that allows for a lot of transparency when you're working. From here, you'll be able to adjust your zoom settings as well. And go to move mode. Move mode allows you to click here and just move around the mural. You can grab it and move it without moving any of the content in it. But for move mode, you could also just use your space bar. So if you hold down your space bar, you can see that my cursor changes into a hand and it goes into move mode. So that would be a shortcut for you. Now, disclaimer. I'm going to be showing you all these things that you're going to be able to do in your mural, but you're looking at my Zoom screen. You're not actually in a mural right now. So if you try to double click when I double click, nothing's going to happen for you. Okay? So don't try that at home because I know that happens a lot. At the end of the session, though, remember, I will invite you into a mural and you'll be able to try out all these things that we're going to learn in the next 40 minutes or so. So let's get started. Every type of content that you can get on your mural, you will find it in your left toolbar right here, the gray one on my left. And under each one of these icons, there's another menu hiding in there for you. And anything that you see on there, you can just drag and drop onto your mural. So let's start from the very beginning. Just felt like Julie Andrews a little bit. So we have stickies galore right here, all kinds of shapes and colors of stickies. And also you have titles, text boxes, and comments. So let's see how to use those. I'm going to drag and drop a title here. I'm going to put stickies. If I want to put a sticky, I actually don't need to go to this menu. I can just double click anywhere on the canvas and I will get a sticky. These square yellow stickies are the default stickies, and they are equivalent to the ones you would use in real life, the 3x3 stickies. I wanted to see if I had any here. Yes, I do. These stickies. So I know they look a lot smaller right now in my screen. If that's the case, I suggest you zoom in a little bit more rather than enlarging all of the stickies because you will end up with a very funky looking mural. So this is the standard size. Of course, you can write on them. You can also bring a text box anywhere, not just on the stickies. And the stickies you can customize. So let me zoom in so you can see it better. There's a whole menu that opens up when I have a sticky there. So I can change the shape. I can change the color. I can give it a border if I wanted to. Now, and let's change this one. We're going to make it a circle. We're going to make it blue. Now, see what happens. This is really cool. Now, if I double click next to my pink sticky, I will get another pink sticky. And if I double click next to my blue one, I will get another of the same format. And the same here. So that allows for much faster formatting, so you don't have to go one by one, each one of your stickies to, to do different formatting. Oh, and the last thing I want to show you here is the comments. So when you're working at any time actually, but mostly if you're working asynchronously, if you're not, connected to Zoom and working at the same time on something, you may want to leave a comment for a colleague. So you go here and you're going to just drop a comment in whatever element you need to highlight. And in this case, I'm going to tag Agus and say, hey, check this out. And now Agus will get a notification that I left a comment for him in this mural. And he can come straight there to see what I said and about what. and he can reply right here to my comment. And in this way, we could have an entire conversation about this one element on the canvas, like he just did there. Can you see? And this becomes very relevant when you start having more and more content and your mural becomes really heavy in content. Being able to have an entire conversation about one particular item is really helpful. So make sure to use those comments. All right, let's move on. Build a flow chart. You can go to the left again and bring in your shapes and bring in your connectors. I'm going to drag it and make it a dotted line because I like it better that way. And now I'm going to bring another shape. But since you're here, I want to go ahead and show you a shortcut for that. So you can actually hold down the letter C for connector, and that will change your cursor into a connector. And you can drag, and when you release, you're going to get a whole menu of new shapes to choose from. Let's try that again. I'm going to hold down the letter C, go down, choose another shape. Now, if you see, it remembered the formatting that I chose last. So let's see what happens if I do another connector now. And if let's change the color of this too. I'm gonna hold down the letter C and drag. See, and now it remembers the formatting that I chose last. So that will allow you to, to create your flowcharts a lot faster. Of course, once two shapes are connected, you can move one and it will stay connected. So when you're done with your flowchart and it looks amazing, you may want to group it all together. So you're going to multiple select and right click to group. See, there's an option to group. So once you do that, your whole flowchart is going to become one element to move around. All right. Okay, let's move on. Pick an icon to visualize something. We have partnered with the Noun project to bring you over 1 million icons to pick from. So you can go right here and choose, like, search. Look, I had never done that before. And search from a very impressive library of icons. I shouldn't have opened this box because I know nothing about Star Wars. But anyways, you can actually, as you saw, you can change the shade, the size and the color and everything for your icons. And I highly, highly recommend that you use icons as much as possible, because when you're working, with remote teams, we are all from different cultures and language can get tricky sometimes. So the more visual you can get with your presentation, the better it's going to work for everybody. So if you want to say, don't do this, you're better off enhancing that with like an icon there, right? And then like, we use icons in many different ways instead. There you go. So you can use icons for a voting session. Like you can, when you're brainstorming and somebody popped a great idea on the canvas, then you can just grab an idea icon or a fire icon, like that's on fire, that idea. And you just put your icon there and everybody knows that you're doing +1 or I love this or whatnot. So you can use icons in many different ways to enhance your presentations and your meetings as well. So make sure you get creative with those and use them to your advantage. Another thing we can do is we can complete a framework activity. So under this menu here, you're going to find lots of different frameworks that you can pull from. They are separated by categories, and they will save you a lot of time. Let's see. Like we can have, I think there's feedback grid right here. So maybe you just ran an activity and you want to know how that worked out for your team. You just pull this feedback grid from the side and drop it there. And look, it seems too big for my canvas. No worries. I'm just going to go to the bottom of my canvas and pull it down, drag it. And there we go. So you're never going to run out of space because you can always make your canvas larger. You can pull it from the bottom or from the right and to make it larger. So as I was saying, you may want to pull this for your meeting, and then you can have your team immediately working on it, like leaving their feedback, placing their post-its on what worked well. And you can give them, you can time it here. You're going to give them 1 minute to think about what worked well about this workshop that we just did for the last hour. And you take the last 5 minutes for feedback. And so everybody can just double click here to place their different pieces of feedback. And then you go around what needs to change, if there are any unanswered questions that you might need to get to, and if they have any new ideas to try. So this is a wonderful way to collect your feedback, and you didn't have to prepare a whole lot in advance. You just pulled it from the side and it's there readily available for you. And once everybody places their post-its on it, it actually moves all together as one element if you needed to move it to a different part of the frame. If you were doing something like this, I would recommend timing the activity because it keeps everybody's focus on the task at hand. And you'll see what happens in 3 seconds when the time is up. Did you hear that? It lets everybody know there's that little chime to let you know that the time is up. And that will happen for everybody in their own computers, in their own murals, right? These frameworks are not editable. They are imported as images. However, there's a little work around that. If you wanted to maybe use this feedback grid, but you wanted to use it in a different language, what I would recommend that you do is you go over to the title section and you bring over a title and you make sure that the background is white. You can make it larger, and then you just covered that part. And you can do the same thing for all 4 of these. And that's how you can translate it. And you can even customize the categories. Maybe you need 4 different categories. Go nuts. It's all yours. Add an image or a GIF. So under this image icon here, you will have a search engine that is powered by Bing, where you can, search for images. Like somebody was joining from Bangalore, and I've never been there. I'm curious as to what it looks like. Oh my gosh, it seems beautiful. All right, so you can just pull in your images from the side there. And one new feature that we have for images is that you can crop them. So you can go here and it will let you crop your images if you needed to. If you go to that same menu and at the end of, you put your word and then you put the word GIF at the end, you will find animated images there. Okay, let's do a cute cat. Can't go wrong with that. All right, let's move on. You can upload a file from your computer right here. It could be from your computer like I'm going to do right now. But as you could see there, it could also be from Google Drive, from OneDrive, or from Dropbox. You can upload any type of files here, and that's what that will do for you is that it will keep all of your information very centralized. So you don't have to send a link to a Word document and then a Mural and then an Excel spreadsheet and a link to YouTube. You can keep all of your information in one place, and that is so helpful for information and for the team to stay focused. So we do have an integration with YouTube and with Vimeo. So you can actually go to YouTube and you can just copy and paste a link here from YouTube, and then you will get a thumbnail of that video, and everybody will actually be able to watch this video while still in the mural. They don't have to exit and go to YouTube to watch and then come back. They can actually watch it right here. I'm going to leave this here because we will be sending you, along with the recording, we will be sending you a copy of this mural, and I want you to have this, especially for you iOS users. If you have an iPhone or an iPad, you could use the Mural scan feature, which will let you scan over a physical whiteboard, and it will digitalize it for you. So it'll save you a lot of time not having to transcribe every little thing, every drawing and every post-it that you have on there. So check it out. And last, but definitely not least, it's a whiteboard, right? So you should be able to draw. You have a pencil right here. You're going to be able to choose the different types of tips and, of course, the color, and then you can just go crazy. Now I'm using my trackpad here, so you'll have to excuse my basic drawing skills, but I think it does the trick, right? All right, so when you're done drawing, oh, what happened with the hand? When you're done drawing, you just hit done drawing, and then your drawing will behave as an element again. You can resize it and you can move it around. And yes, you can draw on post-it notes, and you can draw anywhere else as well. So those are all the different types of elements that we can get on a mural. Now, I want to quickly move over to facilitation superpowers, but I see that we have tons of questions because we do have a lot of people that have joined today. So I would like to make a quick pause here to see if there are any questions that we may want to address before I move on to facilitation.
Yes, so from Carolyn, she was wondering if she needed to use Zoom to run her sessions, and now she was asking, I see that here we are seeing a canvas that is being shared. Can I get a collaboration on a canvas through GoToWebinar, or do I have to run GoTo and Mural separately? I'm just trying to work out how to integrate Mural into live online learning sessions. And the thing is that we don't really have an integration with any video conferencing application. So right now we are just using Zoom and Mural simultaneously. But so you could also use GoToWebinar, but it doesn't mean that the screen that you share will be prone to editing from the users. That's because you will just be screen sharing. It's just a way to share what you're seeing. What we normally do for our sessions, if you're running a workshop, is start the call on, let's say, GoToWebinar, and we would send the link to the canvas that we want the users to join through that chat. They can simply click on that and join you where in whichever canvas you're in. But we don't have any integration with any video conferencing app. Still, you should be able to use any other third-party app that you want simultaneously with Mural.
Agus, they're asking in terms of file upload, can you upload a PowerPoint file and see the slides in the Mural?
Yes, I just saw that question. So you can upload a PowerPoint presentation, but you will only see a preview of the first page or the first slide of that document. You won't be able to play it on the canvas or manually edit each of those elements from within Mural. What you can do to see all of the slides is export those slides as images and then upload the images to Mural, since you'll be able to see all of them on the canvas. Perfect. Let's see.
Do collaborators in a Mural have to have an account or sign up to work on the Mural you share with them? No, they do not. We will explain the membership model in a few minutes in more detail, but they do not need to have a Mural account to be able to collaborate with you in your Mural. Okay, so
Perfect.
I'm going to keep going. Is that
Just
okay?
one more that I saw
All right.
that is very interesting. Troy said, I ran a brainstorming session using the bullseye and wonder if I can pull all of the text from the sticky notes to a list. And yes, you can actually do that. So one thing that you could do is select multiple sticky notes at once. And if you right click on them, you'll get this option that says copy text, copy as text. And what you can do is paste that onto maybe a spreadsheet, and each of those sticky notes will become a specific cell in that spreadsheet. And it also works the other way around. So if you copy text from a spreadsheet over to Mural, then each of those cells will become sticky notes. So great question.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to keep going for the sake of time here. I would like to talk to you about facilitation superpowers. So if you have been paying attention, you will have seen that I'm using this list here on my right to move around my canvas. So we went through the welcome, agenda, what is Mural, how to use it. And so how do I actually create this outline? Well, that is one of the powers that I have as a facilitator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiple select here and right click, and I'm going to choose add to outline. And so then a new section will pop in here, and I can just name it however I want. And I can actually even leave instructions, add instructions to this very section, like double click to add a sticky. So if I will invite other people that will maybe come in at a later time, they will know exactly what to do in each particular area of the canvas. I can, of course, move this wherever it needs to go in the order that I want it. And then another thing that I can do from the outline is I have the option to hide content or reveal it when I'm ready. So, you know, you can use that to your advantage if you're, you know, waiting until a specific moment of your meeting to unveil some sort of important information, the results of this quarter, or a bonus that everybody will get, or who knows what. You may want to hide that so that people don't get distracted looking at that first when they're not supposed to. And then once you're ready to talk about that, you just go over to that section and you reveal it. So hide and reveal is another of the functions of the outline. So the outline will let you organize your content. It will let you navigate the different areas of the mural. It will let you hide and reveal. And lastly, another thing it will let you do is you can go on presentation mode if you wanted to. So if you're still very used to that PowerPoint presentation feel and you would like to emulate that here, you could. You would just go to presentation mode, and then if you look at the bottom here, it will show you slide 2 of 9, 3 of 9. So those 9 sections are all the different you know, parts of my outline that I created. Now, I didn't intend this presentation to be shown like that, so my information is not organized in a way that would look pretty as slides. But if I wanted to show it that way, I could organize it in a different way, and then I could use that presentation mode. Another thing that I can do as a facilitator, that was the outline that we just spoke about, is that we can super lock our content. Somebody was actually just asking about that. Can I lock my content so that other people cannot move it? And sure, you can. As a facilitator, you have the option of actually super locking something so that only you as a facilitator can unlock it. So let's say I want to lock my flowchart because I don't want anybody to move it or edit. So I'm going to right click and go to lock, and I'm going to choose that only facilitators can unlock. And now see if I want to move it or whatever, I can't. I just have that lock icon come on because it's super locked. So that's something that as a facilitator you can and should do with your content so that, you know, when I'm showing you this and I click here, I don't want this to move when I don't mean it to move. So you want to make sure that you lock things in place, things that need to stay in place for your presentations. Another thing that you can use as a facilitator is the timer that we have already tried earlier. You can set a timer from here. Let's see. I'm going to do 30 seconds on the timer, and that will help you, you know, for your meetings if you wanted to make sure, okay, you have 1 minute to place your stickies for a brainstorming session, or 5 minutes, or whatever that may be. If the instructions weren't clear, you may need to pause. You can click on there and pause the timer. You can add more time if that wasn't enough, but that will definitely keep everybody on task and focused. And you have that lovely bell that reminds you of airplanes. Does anybody remember airplanes? So that's what timer is for. It'll help you keep accountable for your meetings, make sure you stay on time. And it goes on everybody's mural at home. So it's not just, that chime is not just on my end as the facilitator, it goes for everybody. Another great feature as a facilitator is that you have the ability to summon the other participants. Right now, there's only 2 people in this mural. It's just Agus and me. But if all 106 of you were here, it is very likely that somebody would be looking at a different part of my mural, or, you know, your kid just came in, or your cat jumped on the table, or what have you, because we're all mostly working from home. And so, you know, you get distracted, or you don't know where you are at a certain point in the mural. So as the facilitator, if you come to a part of your presentation that is very important to have everybody's attention, you could summon them. If you look at the mini map here, you will see that Agus is a tiny green rectangle there. He's still looking at the stickies, I guess. So what I'm going to do is I am going to summon everybody. And now you'll see that both of our rectangles are overlapping here. And if we were 100 and however many we are, I would have all 105 of you looking at the same thing that I'm looking at, same Zoom, same everything. You will see the exact same thing that I'm looking at. So that's a very powerful feature to use. Of course, everybody can break free of the summon right after you do it. They can click anywhere else and go do something else on the mural. And lastly, what you can do as a facilitator is celebrate. I think this is a very important feature, because we all need to remember to celebrate and to have fun while we're still working, to acknowledge everybody on our teams that are making great efforts to work and be home and take care of the kids and school them and whatnot. So any chance you get to use this feature, please do so. You're gonna hover over your avatar as the facilitator, and you're just gonna hit celebrate. Woohoo! And then you have this beautiful rain of confetti coming onto the mural. I'm gonna do that again because I just love it. I'm gonna celebrate that all 105 of you took the time to be here today. And I appreciate that. So those are all the facilitation superpowers. Another thing that is built in here that is not a facilitator superpower, any member of the mural can actually run a voting session. I would still like to show it so you know it's there. Right next to the timer, you will see a voting feature. You can start a voting session. You will name your voting session so to let people know what they're voting for, and select the number of votes you can give each one of them and choose who's going to vote. And then you will start the voting session. Everybody will get a notification to start voting, and they can choose what they vote on. You have 2 votes left. 2 people are voting. 2 people already voted. So I'm going to end the voting session now that everybody has voted, and we will get the voting results. Everybody will see these voting results. So that's another thing that you can do in the mural. All right, let's move on to use cases. We have lined up some very common use cases here. The truth is that once you get familiar with using the tool, you will create your own use cases. We keep learning new more awesome new use cases every day from all of our customers. But some of the ones that we see on a daily basis are, of course, for user research, for trend mapping, any type of mapping, journey mapping, trend mapping, mind mapping, um, stakeholder mapping, opportunity mapping, any kind of mapping you want to do. Mural is ideal for that because of the visual element of it. For your team stand-ups, your retrospectives, there are even frameworks that you can just pull in for your retros or for your stand-ups. We normally run the rose thorn buds. We do those very often in our team to see what things are not going well, what things are going well, and what opportunities we find. So that's another great way to give feedback. I'm going to just double click here on the journey mapping, which is a very, very normal use case. So what you see here, this is an experience map for human-centered design, and it's pulled from a template. We have a whole library of templates that I'm going to show you in a little bit. So you just pull that template from the library, and you will have the whole structure built for you with the instructions of how to do each part. And as you can see, everything that I have been showing you of the stickies and connectors and images, that was all pulled in from the side toolbar, like we just learned. So it's very, very easy to do, and it's going to save you a lot of time because it's already built in the template library for you. So right here, what we see, for example, is 2 different personas that we have built with their, you can sketch them or you can pull in an image, and we're going to talk about their behaviors and actions, their demographics, and their needs and pain points. And from that persona, we're going to build this whole journey maps of, in this case, it's going to the grocery store. And we're going to recognize the different stages, all the steps, what are they feeling at that moment, what the pain points are, and what opportunities we see. So this is a great way and very simple way to get the team collaborating and working together to solve important problems. You will get, when you get the copy of this mural, there are links to all these different use cases right here. You can just double click and it'll take you to the example like we just saw. Let's see for a second how Mural is organized. So right now we are in a canvas or a mural. We use those words interchangeably. They're mural canvases. And those, I can create an unlimited amount of canvases that I will then organize into rooms. Those rooms, they would be similar to your folders where you put your documents. The difference here is that the rooms can be either private or open rooms. So for private rooms, the content in those rooms is only going to be accessible to the people who have been explicitly invited to that room. Open rooms, however, will be available for anybody who is a member of the workspace. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in real life. Ready? We're going to exit this mural right now. I'm going to go back to my dashboard, and you're going to see that I'm inside a workspace that is called Mural Demo. Now, inside this demo space, I'm going to see all these different murals. There are different views that I can choose. All murals, recently opened, favorite murals. It is very easy to favorite a mural that you use very often, like this one that we're using today. I may want to have it in my favorite, so it comes up very quickly for me. After those, you will have the whole library of templates right here. And you will have a learning section that I highly recommend you check out because it has a lot of wonderful information, video tutorials, and articles that we have created for most situations. After that entire first section, you will see all of the rooms available in this workspace. There are private rooms and there are open rooms. So, for example, you see there's a private room right here and there's only one member, and that's me. So I'm the only one who can see all these different murals that I have there. For a demo room, it is a private room, but if you see here, it has 3 members. So all 3 members are able to see the contents of this private room. Anybody else will not be able to see the contents of this room unless they are explicitly invited. And the way we invite them is through here, through the share button. So I can invite, if you see here, I'm sharing a room. I'm not sharing a canvas. I'm not sharing a mural. I'll show you how to share the mural later. But here you could share the room and make somebody else a member of that private room. So you may want to do that by teams maybe, or by projects, depending on how you organize your workload. So since we are here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a new mural that we're going to use. I could choose from all these different templates: icebreakers, brainstorming, empathize, plan, agile. There are so many that I could choose from, but I'm just going to choose a blank mural to get started. I'm gonna name it Playground, and today is Thursday. And I'm going to copy an invitation for it, a visitor link that I'm going to share with you. When I share this visitor link, you will kind of jump over the interface and you will not have to sign in or anything. You'll just go in as anonymous visitors to the playground. So going back to our original canvas that we were using, we just saw how to organize the contents of the mural, right? So let's talk about the different user types that we kind of overviewed just now. So there are the members. Those are the people who have subscription to Mural. They have all the abilities to create canvases, to duplicate them, to export them, to invite people, to create rooms and workspaces. Guests are the people who I invite over to Canvas, but they are not able to invite other people to create or manage the rooms. They're not able to duplicate the canvases or export the murals. They can just be guests. They can come and collaborate with me in the mural that I invited them to. So this is best for partners, for customers that we may be interacting irregularly with. After 2 weeks of inactivity, guest accounts are deactivated. And then finally, we do have the visitors that are individuals who can access a specific mural via the link that you send them, like I'm going to send you in a second here. And it's a limited access pass, so they can only do so much as visitors. There are many features that may not be available as visitor. They can still collaborate, so these are great for research participants or one-time collaborators in general. Let's see, and finally, before we move on to playing, I want to point out that you have additional resources here in the Canvas that we're going to share with you. All those links, check them out, they're really, really great. And finally, if you wanted to share your mural, you just saw me do that, but you can share from the share button here. If you use that first tab, that is going to be for guests. And using that second tab here is for visitors, like we used before. And then maybe after your research participants are gone for the day, you may want to reset that link so people can no longer access with that link that you gave them. So that's another thing that you can do. And finally here under export, you can export your entire mural or parts of it into a PDF image or a PNG image. And you could also publish your own template. And this is really great because even though we have a very large library of templates, you may have your own ways of working at your company. And it's great if you can create your own templates and streamline processes across your company. So that's what you're going to use this for, publishing as a template. All right. Agus, you want to share some questions before we start playing? Because I know everybody gets very distracted when we do that.
Yes. So from Howard, can visitors edit items in a room? And no, so what the guests can do within a room is just access the murals inside of it, but they won't be able to edit any of the settings of that room or any of the settings of one canvas. They are limited to collaborating inside of the murals. Um, If you've published a template, is it available to all Mural users globally or just your own template library? It's only available for the workspace that you're in, but you can share that with anyone outside of your workspace as well. If you click on the share button when you enter that template, you'll be able to copy a link to send out to anyone that you want. When sharing, is there a limit to the number of emails we can enter? There shouldn't. I know that some users get a limit at around 50, but this shouldn't really be a problem anymore. Alternatively, you can always use the copy link if you happen to run into any issues, but you shouldn't at all.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share the link over the Zoom chat. We will keep answering your questions in the meantime, but I want to make sure that everybody has some time to play. So if you go over to that link, you will be able, I see that you're all coming in. Make sure to zoom out first, because you're all going to come by default to the top left corner of the mural. And it's a very large mural, so we want to make sure, you know what? I'm going to summon you. Ready? Summon. So now you see the whole mural. I'm going to ask a question for you to answer on this mural. What things do you miss the most about the life before the global pandemic? Remember to not make your sticky so large. You can zoom in. What things do you miss the most? You can drag your images from the side. You can use icons. You can use text. All right. I'm going to make you a facilitator as well.
Perfect. Thanks. A quick clarification just for, I see that we have some teachers on this call. Mural is available for free for education purposes, so for teachers and students. All you need to do to request the free account, which comes with space for 10 members and 25 guests, is go to mural.co/education, which I'll be sending that out on the chat right now, and you'll be able to apply for that. So definitely recommend checking that out. Then let's see for any other questions.
I know that somebody was asking if we provided training. Well, we do these daily. So that's one type of training that we do. And also, yes, we do have training that is specific for companies. They get their own team enablement specialist or enterprise transformation manager, depending on the type of account that they get. So we have all kinds of different trainings. These happen daily, and you're welcome to invite people to sign up for them. We also have a backstage pass that happens every Friday, in which you get to see people actually working on something, not just telling you how to work, but actually working on something. So those are very, very inspiring. Our services team is in charge of those. We also have the webinar that is specific for educators. So we offer all kinds of training depending on what you're needing.
Perfect. Can you also show how to use the activity log?
Yes.
Perfect.
So I'm going to show here on my screen, if you're looking at my shared Zoom screen, right next to the outline. There is no outline in this mural because I haven't created one yet. Right next to the outline, there is one that has like a little watch icon, and that's the activity log. And if I go there, I'll be able to see everything that has happened in this mural and who did what. And if somebody deleted that, like see somebody deleted a draw sticky and I wanted to recover it, I can just click recover and it will come back where it was.
Some people were asking how can they join this mural, and I just sent the link to this canvas again so everyone can come in. It's on the Zoom chat, so you'll be able to see it there. Is there a command for AEC zoom in / zoom out? And yes, so something that you can do is press the letter X on your keyboard and hover over, let's say, a sticky note, and you should be getting a pop-up instead of zooming into the entire canvas. So
I'm
maybe you
showing
want,
you.
yeah, like just exactly how Danielle is showing. That sticky note or that element will pop up to you on the screen, so you won't really have to zoom in all the way. Let's see. Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Michael, I'll be sending the link to you directly through the chat as well. Again, is the activity log public or just available to moderators? So the activity log is available for the members of the Canvas. So anyone will be able to check that out.
Not the visitors though.
Not the visitors, yeah. Only registered users. Tina asked, it appears this is more geared towards whiteboarding rather than PI planning. So we have seen, I believe we have some use cases regarding PI planning, and I think we may have even one template for that. So I can quickly look that up to see if it's there, but you can definitely use it for PI planning. I recommend checking out our blog, since we have tons of different use cases there and how other companies are actually using Mural, and it's super, super helpful. I'll send that through the chat right now. It's blog.mural.co. And Howard, where do I find the training for educators? You can find that in this next link that I'll be sharing, which is suddenlyremote.co, which is something that it's a website that has all of the trainings that we give, as well as the Teachers Lounge for educators. Let's see, I think we have time for one more question.
I think Marina's question is good. I would like to get to that one. She's a photography teacher and considering the possibility of using this for critique. This is used for critique a lot, normally for design critique, but it would work in the same way for the photography critique. If you had them as visitors, they would be able to post pictures like you are here right now in this mural, and people would be able to provide feedback as well. I guess you could use the guest format as well. For more info, I would have you check out, as I said, the Mural for Education, because you'll get more details as an educator how it would be better for you to use Mural. Can I edit my name icon when I join the Mural? Lucy, that is coming up. That will happen, like, if not this week, probably next week. We have been working on that feature.
Yeah, it's so the named visitors feature, it's only available for visitors, right? It's currently only available for free trials and starter plans. We're still polishing the last few details for our Plus and Enterprise accounts. So if you have a free trial, you'll actually be able to invite people in as visitors, and they'll be able to change their name. So they won't have to show us visiting Snake. They'll be able to show up as John Smith, let's say. The release date, I believe, for Enterprise Plus and those other plans is on August 6th, I believe. So definitely coming up. And perfect. Let's see.
Wow,
Does the visitor URL last for more than one session? This is for multi-week education sessions, or do I need to resend a new link each time? The link for the Canvas will not change unless you manually change it yourself. So if you share So if you try to access this one mural that we shared the link for, let's say 1 week after, then you'll still be able to access this mural because the link won't change unless you manually do so, which you can do by clicking on the share button, going to the visitor tab and selecting reset link. And that's how you would get a new link for maybe a different group that wants to access, but the original group won't be able to access anymore.
I would like to say two things. One, that this mural is very crazy right now, so don't worry. It doesn't always look like this. This is just people trying it out, maybe for the first time, and like 100 people at the same time. Also, if you find all the cursors moving around very distracting, you can hover over your own avatar, which will be on the top left, and choose to hide cursors. And each individual can do that for themselves if they prefer not to see everybody's avatars moving around. We have come to the end of this session. We thank you all so very much for being here today. It was our pleasure to show you how to use Mural. Hopefully, you will find lots of ways to make it work for you. And somebody just deleted everything. And I can see who that was. So thank you again for being here. You will be getting the video and the mural that we used for your reference.
Perfect. Thank you all very much for joining us, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
See
Stay
ya.
safe.